What is up, gamers? Welcome to the Slay the Spire SUB-4 silent analysis. It's me, your gamer, Kosan Gamer01. I removed the 101 a while ago, but here we are. So, what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to go over my recent SUB-4 and, analyze it. Because there's quite a few things to unpack that I don't think the common viewer would necessarily understand, So here we go, He's silent. He's this dog shit character. So, I have a thing to explain here. The reason why I'm taking so long to look at the path, which you wouldn't usually do in speedruns, right? You're losing time by looking at the path. It's because of a method I was taught by a certain somebody, where, and this has been like the contingency for silent for a while now, where you're trying to force a boss skip or like a boss snipe. Now, well, a fast act 1, basically. You're trying to get a faster act 1. That's the main idea of silent, right? Fast act 1 is the main part of the run, because that's the place where you get most time save. Later acts don't really matter, for reasons you'll see soon, because you'll see soon why that later acts, you can't really save more time than, like, compared to other runs by other runners, or your own runs, basically. But act 1 is, like, the main differentiating point between every single one of these runs. So, so how do you get a quick act 1? Well, the thought process was that, and it probably still is, that boss sniping, like sniping the boss with the announcement, would make your run go quicker. However, the problem with that is that that's fucking rare. Boss snipes only happen in about 1 in 700 runs, right? And for your strategy, you need grand finale and removes. And most removes come at you want removes from the boss relic, basically, which could be Astrolabe with the Astrolabe true remove glitch, which I'm not going to explain here, but it is a thing that you can do. Empty Cage, which removes 2 cards, and P-Box glitch, which most people probably know, removes all your strikes and defense instead of transforming them. Now, the main point about this, right, that is super rare. So, Grand Finale P-Box, getting them both from the boss, is about a 2% chance. So what's 1 in 700 times 2%? Let's check that right now. Let's check that right fucking now. Let's just say 0.02 times... Really wrong calculator. Don't worry about this. That's the wrong fucking calculator. Let's time that. Let's just get that. 0.02 times 1 divided by 700. Yeah. Now, obviously, this isn't completely indicative of what we have here. So, you can get Grand Finale in Act 1, and you don't necessarily need P-Bugs. But even then, your odds of getting this are very slim. So, you're looking for a 3 in Counter Act 1, not including the boss, or 2 in Counter Act 1, and then hoping that you actually get to kill the boss with the boss snipe. I've gotten multiple boss snipes, but not too many in my, 10,000-ish runs. So, this strat kind of seemed off to me. In this moment, I decided to play this run. I don't know why. This is like a 4 in Counter Act 1 at best. Right? Let me just look at this path. On the map, scroll down. I was looking at this path specifically. There's no encounters here. 1, 2, 3. This is the 3 encounter path. Okay, I actually do understand why I play this out. It's a fairly late 3 encounter act 1, which means there's less chance to get random encounters from event nodes. So that's why I think I played out the seed. I don't remember the exact mindset going into this, but it was late. It was like 9 p.m, bruv. I decided to play it out for some reason. But, I took it. Now, this really doesn't have the best shot to be a quick act 1, because you need... Most quick act 1s also include, like, Smoke Bomb Boss Skip, which is a glitch with Smoke Bomb, which allows you to skip the boss, where you just kill the enemy at the same time as proccing Smoke Bomb. That's, like, a pretty common method of actually getting it off here. Now, the problem with that, I don't actually have a guaranteed encounter at the end of this act. If you look here, right... I barely have that, and if I want to get that on this right path, I have to take 2 more encounters, including Elite, which is super slow. So there's another method which you double node, which is a glitch we'll see soon. You go from this node to this node, hope this isn't an encounter, buffer this node with controller, so when you open map, once you've traveled to this node, you go to that node, this rest node right here. So you can use smoke bomb on this node, then open map to like get out of the encounter, do like resolve this rest node, then go to the boss and skip it. That is another method to. But you'll see neither of those things happened. I should actually get into the run itself. Obviously, just kill slimes. Blade Dance. Blade Dance, huge damage common, like 16 damage. Huge, massive. There's a bunch of synergy with it. Obviously, you've got Shuriken, which is super good with it, if a little slow. But you've also got Finisher. Now, Finisher is a great card for, like, killing slime boss very quickly. If you don't have Smoke Bomb, you're just looking for, like, turn 1 or turn 2 slime boss kill. That's, like, your only bit of having a good run. If you have, like, a 3 encounter act 1. Or, like, a non-boss snipe act 1, I should say. But, yeah. Take Blade Dance, big damage card, has a lot of synergies. If you take accuracy with it and upgrade both of them, it's a 40 damage card, which is very convenient, very nice, especially with potions. I should say that Blade Dance scales off of potions pretty well, like Flex Potion. Deep Potion can be a little awkward with it because you have to strip a lot of cards from your hand, but even without that, it's still, like, you're doubling a 16 damage card. That's incredible if you actually have the hand space for it. Strength Potion as well, it's stuff like that. But yeah, in this situation, right, usually you want to immediately remove Survivor as silent. Because Survivor is a very slow card that doesn't get removed by P-Bucks. And, you know, having another card in your deck for the Grand Finale Pandora's Box strategy sucks. If you have 6 or 7 cards in your deck with a Ring of Snake, it can be slow. It admittedly can be slow. Because the animation for drawing more cards with Ring of Snake is a little slow, admittedly. But for some reason here, I go for Fire Potion. Now, Fire Potion is huge for Slime Boss. It's not just 20 damage, it's also preventing the split. So in effect, it's basically like 40 damage, right? Because you don't have to fight 2 smaller slimes. Or like at the very least, you're taking away 20 from each of them, which in effect is 40. Also decided to take another Blade Dance in. Now, I should have mentioned before, but there is a Blade Dance, a downside of Blade Dance really. Playing a lot of cards with Blade Dance because you're summoning 4 shivs with like the upgrade in the recent patch. That's quite a few card plays you actually have to play through. But with keyboard and spamming mouse, it isn't really too much of a problem. So taking a second one here, I feel safe in it. And if I get a finisher, I know I can actually do well against Slime Boss. Because there's like a select few damage commons you really want to take. But you still want to keep your deck small and concise. So when you take the Pandora's Box in Grand Finale, you actually can play it turn 1 consistently. Now, unfortunately, we get this encounter. This event. If you take the first option, you know, runs invalid. But that part doesn't really matter. The main part about this event is that it's a shrine event. So, the long and short of it, I'm not going to go into all correlated randomness bullshit, is that the next encounter, well, the next question mark rather, is almost guaranteed to be an encounter. Very, very close to being guaranteed in this situation. So, shrine events are like events that, most of them appear in all acts. And what they just stated, you know, they do what I just stated, where they almost guarantee your next question mark is an encounter. So unfortunately, get one hit. So now this is like, what, a 4 encounter act 1? Kill Sawdust. Backflip, pretty nice card. Very nice card pickup. Having draw for after you get P-Bucks Grand Finale is nice, because you basically get another copy Grand Finale, if a little slow, because you have to redraw it. Like, you play Grand Finale, then you play your draw card, and then you redraw into Grand Finale, and then you can play it again immediately. Well, not immediately. You have to wait for the reshuffle animation, which takes a long-ass time, I should mention. But yeah, you do need this card, admittedly, for playing Grand Finale again. It's also, the good part about Backflip, it doesn't have a discard menu like Acrobatics does, or like Prepared Plus does, or Prepared does in general. But it also allows you to, like, let's say you have Escape Plan, Grand Finale, and Backflip. You play Grand Finale, then you play Escape Plan, then you get to play Grand Finale again, and then you play Backflip to redraw into Escape Plan and Grand Finale, and then you can play Grand Finale again. Majority of enemies in the game drop to that. Majority of always. So yeah, that's a nice little combo. It's a little slow, again, reshuffles take a long time, but that's the main idea with Backflip that sets it apart from all other damage commons. Go to this. I kind of screwed this event. Usually this event's very quick with the controller, but I usually go slow with this event, especially because controller auto pass to the right. So if I accidentally mash it in this event too hard, I auto pass to the right, and then my entire run's dead. But yeah, second tick, pretty lucky. Get Bag of Marbles. Now, Bag of Marbles is huge. That is so much more damage. You know what I mentioned before, that you want to kill Slime Boss very quickly? Bag of Marbles helps you do that, because either it allows you to get a good split on turn 1, or it allows you to set up for a good split on turn 2. Or like a kill, even. 1.5 times damage is just huge for most hallways and Slime Boss, really. So yeah, having it, very good relic. Problem is, doesn't affect with enemies like with Artifact, like Donor Decker, but you'll see why, you know, you're finding a solution for them anyway. Go here, upgrade Blade Dance. Having 4 more damage in the card is insane, obviously. His Lager, Strike, kills. Another benefit of Bag of Marbles. A very small benefit, admittedly. Preserved doesn't really matter, we're not planning on taking Release anyway. This is a situation back, it's good again. I had to play a little slow here to think about it. Now, when I said before that it wasn't strictly going to be that calculation because you're not always going to get Grand Finale from only the boss, you can get it from like the rest of the act. Yeah, it happened here. But what's even better, if you paid attention, I picked up a Gambler's Brew. Now, think about Gambler's Brew, it helps you play Grand Finale. Grand Finale is insane. So, with this setup right now, Bag of Marbles, Gambler's Brew, Grand Finale, I can do 90 damage to Slime on turn 1. Nearly guaranteed at this point. I have 15 or 16 cards in my deck, I can't really see. I actually can't tell, but I believe I have 15. No, it's 16, it's 16, right? Yeah, it's 16. Because there's, like, what? Yeah, it's this. So it's 16 cards. So in order for me to get a guaranteed Grand Finale on turn 1, I have to have 13 cards. Because you draw 7 turn 1 with Ring of Snake, you discard 6 others, and then either the card you didn't discard was the Grand Finale in your first hand, and then you get to play that when you draw the other 6 because your draw pile is empty, or you discard 6 from your opening hand, and then you always draw into Grand Finale next hand, as well as setting up the draw pile, so it's 0 cards for Grand Finale to be played. So I need 3 removes here to go from 16 down to 13. There's a lot of remove events in Act 1, which is why this is super, like, this is, like, a very, it wasn't super lucky for me to get this. I mean, it was lucky, of course, but it wasn't, like, the balls. Didn't go for the Curse Cafe. I don't know why. I just didn't. But, I don't know. It is what it is. Grand Finale upgrade. It's super huge. I don't know. It's just pretty obvious. Go for the Neutralize remove. Again, another card that isn't removed by Pandora's Box. It's slightly better than Survivor because if you accidentally click it, you get damage off. With Survivor, if you click it, then you have to discard a card and also you waste a mana. But Neutralize is still bad because you're not drawing a Strike or like another damage card. Remove it, obviously. Another play I do this shop is grabbing Fire Potion. So now we have a very easy way to kill Slime Boss because we have 90 damage almost guaranteed with Grand Finale in this very moment. We have 2 Fire Bombs. Fucking Fire Bombs? Fire Potions that do 40. That's 130 damage. We need 10 damage at the very fucking least to kill Slime Boss turn 1. Now, obviously, we have that in our deck. We guaranteed draw into that every single time. Problem is getting guaranteed Grand Finale, which isn't a thing our deck does currently. However, we get a remove event. There's quite a few remove events. Like, there's a Transform skip that I could have gone if I got a Transform Shrine, Remove Shrine, this event. I was considering Destroy for like a very quick second. I was like, wait, I can just do this guaranteed shit. Remove Defend. Potentially was better to remove Blade Dance, but it is what it is. And now we go into Slime Boss. So we don't draw the Grand Finale turn 1. That's fine. We have 6 cards in draw pile. We know it's there. We'll just discard 6. Keep Blade Dance because, I don't know. If I were to play like this handout without the Fire Potions or like without one of the Fire Potions, it would have worked. So I was like, fuck it, might as well double Fire Potion now. Because either I play 1 potion, in my mind, I was doing some quick math. It's either I played 1 potion and the cards, or just play 2 potions. And the 2 potion option was faster. So we just went for 2 potions here. Who cares? Adrenaline, draw a card. Kind of like Backflip, except it's better because it exhausts. So you don't accidentally redraw into the draw card. So you just play Grand Finale, draw card, Grand Finale, then you can Adrenaline back into both of those. And then do the initial combo again rather than having to play around having a draw card in your discard pile that you have to deal with. Pandora's box. Now, I don't do the traditional method of abandon, escape here. We instead mash Y, well, not Y necessarily, but the proceed button on our controller. Now, controller is huge here, because, you know, you might have seen before that it helps us, like, path with nodes, or, like, whatever. But in this situation, it saves so much time. So usually, you have to wait for a map scroll at the start of each act. That is an act 1. But with the map scroll skip, you just don't. You just literally do not have to look at the path. So you mash Y, then you click the map button, and then that removes all the strikes and defense in your deck, right? So now, our deck is 5 cards, and it's incredibly efficient at killing things. We have Bag of Marbles, we have Pandora's Box, we have Grand Finale. So now, that's the main part of the run done. We have a 113 Act 1. That is fucking massive, lad. 113 Act 1 is like a big separator between this run and other runs. So now the only different variation we can have in like our Act 2 and Act 3 is less encounters. And the main thing is not getting Transient. Transient adds 40 seconds onto this run, which basically gets rid of our advantage from Act 1. So, yeah, that's basically the rest of the run. Pray for no Transient. Though, we still care about how many encounters we get in Act 2 and Act 3, and grabbing things to kill Don't Let Go as quick as we can. Because currently, right, our deck needs 5 card plays of Grand Finale Plus to actually kill the boss. Because, you know, I don't know, what's 250 divided by 60? Or 250 divided by 50, right? So that means we have to reshuffle a Grand Finale 5 times. Super slow. It also requires quite a few draw cards, which we don't have at the moment. But, you'll see. I'll kill the path a little bit. I should have scored up a little more, if I'm being honest, but who cares? I was super excited. You can see by her mouse movement. As you can see here, Bag of Marble fits really well into Act 2 encounters. Most of them have, like, very close to the HP it takes away, basically. Like, 30 more damage just kills Child Parasite in this situation, because it has exactly 90 HP in this roll of the health bar. Very convenient. Don't care about the card reward. Honestly, I should have taken the Quick Slash, if I was trying to, like, guarantee that I was good here. I was continuously trying to discard the Dexterity and Block Potion, but I just didn't have time. Or, like, I got distracted. Now, this event, massive. So, what this basically does is change our card plays needed for Donut Decker from 5 plays of Grand Finale to 4 plays. Super big. Super nice. Mutagenic Strength, nice. Went for the curse skip on that. You can see how much faster controller makes these events, really. I have another video planned that really emphasizes the strength of the controller because it shows how bad no controller is. Or like how inoptimal it is rather, not necessarily bad. But yeah, you skip that. You just get to skip past so many text boxes. Like I can just disagree to that very quickly. But yeah, curse skip guarantees that we get the relic there. It's fucking paper crane though, so who cares, right? We don't care about like mitigating damage. Funny small slavers because of our preserved insect. Now, this Merc Hourglass, although it's very fucking shit on the surface, and I thought it was shit at the moment, this turned out to be very important. I don't know why, but Fate had plans for me apparently. Merc Hourglass, 3 damage to the start of every turn. Pretty inconsequential, right? 3 damage might be all it needs, baby. But yeah, it's very slow a lot of the time, admittedly. It proccing at the start of every turn is really annoying. It proccing at the start of every combat is like all you care about, basically. Because every combat, you hope to be only 1 turn, right? So, for Mercury Hourglass to proc at the start of every fight, it just loses you so much time. But maybe sometimes it gives lethal, you know? I don't know about that, bruv. But here, I'm looking at the paths. These are basically the same path. The only difference is there's a shop. And shops are infinitely more valuable than the question mark here, because we already have the good question marks out of the way. Right, and late Act 2 encounters that could just be a joust. Well, not joust, what was it? The Colosseum, where you have to fight another encounter. It's very slow. The text boxes are also fairly slow for it. So I would estimate it wastes about like, I don't know, 10 seconds over like just getting a shop. Get an encounter here, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Nice focus crack. Kill the guys, who cares? Toxic egg, who cares? Like still, who cares? I'm grabbing gold here. Of course, just vulnerable to Grand Finale kill. Haha. Now, this is the first encounter where Mercury Hourglass actually gives me lethal turn 1. So as of now, Mutagenic Strength, Bag of Marbles, Grand Finale Plus does not kill Cultist turn 1 because it has 97 health. Well, Chosen rather, not Cultist. What takes away 3 health at the start of every turn? So that's exactly Thornlock Chosen. I don't know why the fuck this happened, but it did. I didn't even notice at the time. Now, I was considering Terror here, but then I realized I had backup marbles, so who cares? The correct play here was probably prepared, because I wasn't guaranteed to kill, Donut Decker turn 1. I wasn't guaranteed to kill Collector turn 1, really. No, I was. I actually was, because I play Grand Finale Plus, redraw into it with Adrenaline, play it again, play Backflip. That kills. But there may be a little mirror in this shop that you might want to buy. That's right, it's me, Mirror. I'm in the shop, baby. But yeah. See this? I'm like, oh my fucking god, here it is. Another copy of Grand Finale. Another copy of Grand Finale? Fucking massive. This basically means the redraws are halved for the fights that actually do need redraws. I was like, wait, which one's Grand Finale? Then I saw. Remove Blade Dance. Again, having 6 to 7 cards, the Ring of Snake proccing at the start of every fight is slow. Considerably slower than just having 5 cards in your deck and drawing into them. Because Ring of Snake doesn't really, like, force you to draw more cards and waste more time by waiting for that animation. Don't upgrade cards, don't need it for now. You'll see why that's a mistake, like, in hindsight, basically. You can really see here the strength out of this deck. It barely takes any time plays. Card plays, rather. See, we save time in Act 2. Now, that's very fucking big. Especially in runs like this, where that doesn't happen very commonly. Like, good runs, very good runs, don't get time save in Act 2. They most likely just lose time in Act 2. This one save time. Which, I don't know. It's pretty incredible that happens. Look through this card roll for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe supposed to take the 103 gold to maybe buy a smoke bomb. Because at the moment, well, I have 61 gold. Not worth it. But I skip it for some reason. Now this is why not upgrading cards was a mistake. Even at the time, even if at the time it saved me time, right? So with Coffee Dripper, I'm forced to smith now. But if I didn't have any upgradable cards in my deck, I would just be forced to skip rest nodes entirely, which is good. Because you can just up a map and then go to the next web really quickly with controller. Mouse and keyboard would still be quick with it. Because you can just skip to the next node if you don't have any actions at a rest site, right? So, but now I'm forced to upgrade, which sucks, but it is what it is. So, but the real reason why I picked Coffee Dripper over the other 2 relics, that's why it sucks, obviously. Getting random costs on Grand Finale sometimes makes us so we can't actually redraw into our Grand Finales, or that we can't play both Grand Finales turn 1. Very bad relic. Calling Bell, it adds a curse to our deck. I mean, even if we do the curse skip, it takes a while to do the curse skip, and the relics aren't necessarily that good. Because we already have all the good relics, right? We have Bag of Marbles. I mean, that's basically the only good relic we can get, but we have Bag of Marbles. That's basically it, right? But, so, Calling Bell isn't good, though. So Coffee Drip is the only one that really makes sense. On top of the benefit it provides with, like, being able to skip rest nodes if you have no upgradable cards. But what else does Coffee Dripper do? Well, it provides us with this little proceed button in Act 3. Now you may be saying, why the fuck is there a proceed button in Act 3? Well, similar to the P-Box glitch from before, where we use controller, we mash proceed when going into Act 3. Now this allows us to carry a proceed button into Act 3. In fact, in the code itself, this allows us to go into Act 4. But we don't have Act 4 unlocked. And even if we did, it still wouldn't physically bring us to Act 4. But what it does do is it rerolls the map when we press proceed, that proceed button. Which is incredible. Having an avenue to potentially have less encounters, meaning an avenue to potentially get no transient, massive, very huge glitch. Now the problem with it, you have to analyze the path, the first path in the first place, decide if you want to press the proceed button, and then you have to look at the path you just loaded up, and then just analyze that, see which one's the best to go on. So it loses 10 seconds, but if your opening path for Act 3, if your first Act 3 map path sucks ass, then you click it. So it's really a good safety net here. Fortunately for me, as I was flicking through the merchant question mark, which you might have noticed last act as well. No, I didn't do that last act because I scroll skipped with P-Box glitch. With this, I get to see what paths I actually want to go on. Now, this path is 4 encounters not counting for the elite, because the elite doesn't matter. We have preserved insect, so even giant head would keel over to like 3 grand finales or something like that. So yeah, most elites, they're inconsequential. Nemesis and Raptor are fine. But the main problem here is Transient, and for a lesser extent for this deck, more, because Transient, I physically could not kill that thing turn 1. And even if I could, it would take a while to do it, because there's so many card plays, right? That's the main problem with these big HP enemies in Act 3. You just have to play so many cards to actually get through them. It's really annoying. And some decks just can't kill them turn 1 if they're worse. So yeah, that's the main problem with finding them. So counting that we get no encounters in the question marks was a low chance. So realistically, this is a 5 encounter path, which is still good because that's only 3 chances for Transient. 3 chances of like a very wide pool for Act 3. Encounters. So yep, look at that path. Go like, ooh, that's spicy path, meatball. Go here. As you can see, most Act 3 encounters just get demolished. At this point, I start realizing I don't need to look at shops. I need to just play for speed. I scrub him because I was panicking. Oh, it's like, fuck me, man. This is a very stressful run. Yeah, very casual. Yeah, there's like not really much to talk about. We're forced to upgrade that. Unfortunate. Yeah, like, what do I say, man? I skipped Dreamcatcher here. I don't know why. It's just out of habit at this point. Even if we had Coffee Dripper, it literally does nothing for us. It's just like, I don't know. Didn't take it. Yep. We just skip shops. We skip card rewards. We skip this card. Well, skip that. Problem with that event, it's a shrine event. It appears on all 3 acts. So now we're forced an encounter. So this is our 5th encounter, I believe. Sad, but we didn't get Transient, so who cares? Now, the correct play there was to upgrade Oath so I could skip past this rest site immediately. Another correct play there was to click the question mark node first and then into the encounter, because if this question mark was an encounter, then I'd go to the other encounter and then just be able to do that. But if this question mark was an encounter, which it wasn't, then I could ladder node this rest node right here, right? This rest node with controller. So when I'm in this event, but in this encounter, I can immediately open map and go back to this rest node and just fight the boss. Very technical, I know, but it was probably the correct play there. If a little time slow. Have to upgrade it all in here. Try and mash on the boss really quickly. Grand finale. Here's where the mutagenic strength comes into play. I could have played the Distilled Chaos here to do the same thing. However, Distilled Chaos, I don't know. Putting my mouse up to the Distilled Chaos potion, it would be slow, basically. Yep, we killed the bosses turn 1. And that's it. That's all, folks. That was our grand finale. So overall, I like how this one turned out. I played very well, I believe. I played methodically, which is something I feel like I have over other runners. Which, yeah, I'm proud of that. Well, I didn't screw up, really. I made a few minor mistakes that could have potentially cost me the run, but, like, the odds for them happening like that were, like, fairly substantial, but not, like, to a severe degree. Where, like, I always lost the run to that. I think I showed off a lot of cool controller things and, like, how fast control is by going through events and shit. Overall, I like it. In this moment, I was like, holy shit, I did it. See, the context for this, I was in a VC with 2 of my friends. Well, one of them isn't just my friend, but yeah. I do that. I was silent throughout all of Act 3. I was, like, answering back to them in Act 2, like, telling them to shut up because I was focusing. And Act 1, I was, like, talking to them because I was casual. After this moment, I popped the fuck off. And, you know, expected, right? I don't know. It was just a very, like, surreal experience for me to get this. So, there's more context to this. Silent was a very hot character for, like, a week or 2. Because, so, like, Firewall records got set in the span of, like, a few days. Sorry for hitting the mic there. So everyone was running it. Ubla has 13k runs on this character, almost 14k. And they were grinding this character like on and off for like a few months or some shit. For me to get this within 700 runs rather. I'm too used to shiny hunting in Pokemon. That's insane. I think it's because I was more willing to not reset to the degree. Maybe I just got luckier, and it's probably that, but I think they were trying to force boss snipe too hard. I don't know. Overall, you could just say it was luck. I would like to phrase it differently, but that's because I'm biased. But yeah, cool run. Smiley face. I just signed that disbelief. From horrible to deplorable, it's me, the Cosant 101 story. From deplorable to fucking adorable. Thank you for watching.